Welcome to episode 16 of the Fight Night Forecast, where we highlight, recap, and cover all things boxing. Welcome back, y'all. We had a big week in the sport of boxing, man. Lots to cover. Let's get right into it. We had Jake Paul and Nate Diaz this past weekend, and some of y'all already loading your guns out, ready to fire that hate off. But, it was boxing, and what did my intro to say? Highlight, recap, and cover all things boxing. It was boxing, man. It was good. And honestly, I think every time that Jake Paul comes out, I'm becoming more and more of a fan. Is he my favorite boxer? No. Do I think he has a lot of flaws? Yes. But I think honestly, as he's getting better and coming along, I'm starting to like him more and more. And I will say this: I feel like he is looking better and better every time we see him. Even in the loss to Fury, he learned a lot, right? I think he's just looking better every fight. Now, he did take the unanimous decision against Nate Diaz, and man, I'm not mad at that fight. Nate Diaz kind of came out looking a little funky, like a little bit of a funky style, and he was kind of just playing pitter patter, wasn't really throwing any power. But those last, I'd say, man, them last 6 rounds. Maybe 5 rounds, something like that. He really turned it on. He came out and he was throwing power, looking good. He was getting his licks in there for sure. And Jake obviously had a knockdown in the 5th. Jake came out the gate swinging, ready to go. But them later rounds, Nate warmed up. I thought it was a good bout. And more importantly than anything, I think that, like I said, he looks better. He just banked 10 rounds. So that's his 10 more rounds he's got in his career now in front of a crowd. Just more for him to be able to work with in the future, And hats off to Nate Diaz, man. He went in there and he, put on a show, gave it his all. Obviously did his a lot of his Nate Diaz shenanigans, which we knew that was coming, right? Even press conference, all that leading up to it, man. We knew that all that was coming. Another thing, too, that I can pull from the fight is that Jake looked good physically. I think Jake is looking better and better every fight physically. I think he's coming in, a little more, I guess, muscular. He's coming in looking better every time for sure. I think he's coming in. He's making that weight easy. And I think that, it'd be nice to get him in something that's not a catch weight, maybe, because he's been kind of fighting at random weight as of late. But, anymore, we're seeing more and more of these catch weights. You got Terrence Crawford talking about fighting Canelo at 158 or something like that. So, these catch weights are getting more and more popular. But yeah, so we'll see what's next for Jake Paul. I think he wants that Fury rematch down the line. He's got a slew of guys he can fight. I really think he's gonna end up fighting this MMA fight with Diaz. I think it set it up. This whole fight kind of set it up perfectly for something like that to happen. So yeah, so I could see it happening. Let's see that. They're talking about that turnaround might be kind of quick. Maybe in a few months, do the MMA fight with PFL. I believe they are signed with PFL, so they can do that. So yeah, pretty cool. On that card, there was some good young talent, and then we had Amanda Serrano. She kind of went in there. I think her and the girl she fought, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she they were like friends or training partners or something for a long time or something. So, that bout was, it is what it is, So I think that the chick she fought, man, showed that she had a chin and some will, man. So she, came out looking good. Another good win for Serrano against a tough opponent. Even though with them being friends, it's kind of but Serrano's going to be just moving on to bigger and better things, I imagine, from here. So see what she's got going on down the road. And honestly, man, I couldn't be a boxing podcast if I didn't cover Jose Ramirez and Tim Anderson. Man, if anything, it's protect yourself at all times. I mean, Tim Anderson came out, wilding. For y'all that don't know who this is the White Sox and I believe the Red Sox baseball. So there was a little bit of a squabble, and I hate to say it, but Tim Anderson kind of got starched. So he came out like a little southpaw stance, was about to throw something, or I think he threw one or two missed haymakers, and then Jose Ramirez came in and clapped him. He fell to the ground. Everybody's all right. I think they got like a 2-3 game suspension. So, sport of boxing, you know what I mean? Y'all can come box whenever y'all want. Settle this in the ring. You don't get suspended in the ring, baby. But yeah, so thought that was pretty funny. I got the video. I'll get the video link there for you guys. But yeah, so let's keep it moving, man. We got a lot to cover today. We got some upcoming this weekend. We have Anthony Joshua and now Robert Helenius. Robert Helenius has stepped in. Now you might be asking, why is Helenius stepping in? Well, unfortunately, Dillian White failed a drug test. And some of y'all might remember that he did this back in 2012 also, and he served a 2-year ban. That was for, back then, I'm trying to read this out, methylhexanamine. It's a stimulant, and it was found in like some pre-workout or something he was taking. And which has now been banned. They don't have that. That's not even, that pre-workout's not even on the market now. But yeah, so now he's, according to Sunsport.com, this was a banned anabolic steroid he got hit with this time called Dianabol. So this is an investigation now. They were quick to, I feel like they were maybe a little quick to kill this fight, man. But it's an investigation. So they're gonna have to do a whole series of looking into this, right? And figuring out what the word is on this, and they'll probably have to do retests, and they'll use like the B samples they took and see if they were false positives and this and that, which false positives do happen. But I don't know. White's claiming innocence. He's claiming, hey, false positives happen, and he's not wrong, right? I mean, like that stuff does happen, right? And he's saying, man, I've never taken that in my life. There's no way that would slip into my system. So, innocent until proven guilty. I stand by that. They did, like I obviously just told you a minute ago, they did go ahead with switching the fight to Helenius. They took that out just because, I think they wanted that fight to go on, and Lord knows how long this investigation process goes, and what they end up finding out. So, but yeah, so that's that reason there for the last minute replacement. So White, man, you gotta chill out, bro. You've already been caught once and served your suspension. Yeah, stay clean, man. I hope it's not true. But this is VADA too. So someone brought up a good point where they're like, this is voluntary drug testing, right? So this is everything White did, he agreed to and was voluntary. So in a way, I kind of find it hard to believe that like he already went through this once, right? And you're doing all these voluntary testing measures. Why would you do all these voluntary testing measures if you pop hot? So there might be two sides of the story, and the truth might lie somewhere in the middle. So we'll have to figure that out a little bit. I'll keep y'all updated on that if I find anything else out about it. But yeah, from now on, or for this purpose of this, man, we're rolling with Helenius. So for y'all that don't know who Robert Helenius is, he was the guy. He's actually a really good heavyweight boxer, I think. But he's been kind of posterized by that first round knockout from the Bronze Bomber Deontay Wilder back in October on the PBC card. Yeah, so he got knocked out first round. But really, and I'm pretty sure he was a last-minute replacement in that fight too, if I'm not mistaken. So, man, Helenius is a good boxer, and props for him for stepping up. You know what I mean, and willing to take this fight on literally a week's notice. So yeah, I think I'm just happy we're gonna see AJ in the ring because I was like, man, now Lord knows when we're gonna see AJ again if he doesn't get in here. So, obviously there's a lot to that too. When you have a last minute replacement, there's a lot of things that can go differently, and a lot sometimes can go bad. If y'all remember, Andy Ruiz was a last minute replacement against Joshua, and Andy Ruiz ended up winning that first bout. So, it's just there's kind of an art to that. You know what I mean? When you have a last minute replacement, you've been training for somebody for weeks now, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever it is, and now all of a sudden you have a completely different opponent in front of you. You know what I mean? So, be on the watch out. That fight's gonna be a little better than we expect. I don't think it's gonna be another first round knockout. I think Helenius, he is a little older, but he's he's out here competing, man. He's trying to get his way to the title. And honestly, with heavyweights, I think you age a little better as a heavyweight. A lot of times, you don't need the all the crazy athleticism and all the fast twitch movements and all that stuff. Those heavyweight guys, they come in there ready to bang. You know what I mean? So they're able to use that weight a little more than a middleweight or a lightweight or a flyweight, right? The speed is not always as big of a factor. So, but yeah, that's gonna be a great bout this weekend. And then we got the dueling Emmanuels going this weekend, man. We got Emmanuel Navarrete and Oscar Valdez, which I think that fight's about to be fireworks, man. That's all I can say to it. I think both guys they're good. Both guys are in their prime. Power in both hands, fast, slick, good boxers. Both guys like to throw, man. So that's gonna watch out for that fight, man. That's gonna be good. And then on the other end, man, we got Emmanuel Rodriguez fighting Melvin Lopez, and that's for the vacant IBF bantamweight title. So that's title bout there. Can't beat it. Decent little weekend here so far. That's coming up. And then also on that Emmanuel Rodriguez card, we have Gary Antoine Russell. He's fighting Kent Cruz. I like Gary Antoine Russell. I think he's going to do big things in the sport. So, somebody's always got to go. I think this Kent Cruz, I don't know much about him, but it's going to be a tough fight. I don't think Gary Russell's looking past him. And somebody's always got to go. So yeah, let's keep it rolling though, man. We got quite a few decent fights coming up pretty quick. August 19th, we have Galal Yafai, and he's fighting Tommy Frank. That's 10 rounds in the flyweight division. That's on DAZN. Yafai is a 2020 Olympian from Great Britain. I want to say he won silver. Not sure on that. Don't be hitting me in the comments. Hey man, he won gold. But yeah, so he's looking good. He's an up and coming DAZN prospect. Excited about that. I'll be trying to tune into that, and probably during the day. It's in the UK, so I'll see if I can't catch it. I'll watch highlights for sure. We got Usyk and Dubois in Poland. That's coming up on August 26th. And then also on August 26th, we have Anderson and Rudenko. That's going to be in Oklahoma City, I believe. Definitely in Oklahoma. I don't know what town. But yeah, you got Efe Ajagba. He's going to be on that. He's a up-and-coming heavyweight. He's actually fighting that Kosobutsky guy that was supposed to fight Anderson but fell out because of an injury, so he's hopping on that card there. And then we got a bunch of the top rank prospect favorites. We got Bruce Carrington, he's about to be on there. Nico Ali Walsh, grandson of Muhammad Ali, he's going to be on there. Abdullah Mason in the lightweight division, I believe he's a lightweight, so he's going to be popping up in there too. And so yeah, some young talent going to be showcased on that card. And then September 2nd, we have Liam Smith, and Chris Eubank Jr. They're dueling it out again. You know, Eubank wants to avenge that loss that he took earlier this year, and you know he claims he's probably gonna be better prepared this time. He'll look a lot better. So, and I don't doubt that at all. I like Eubank, and I like Liam Smith too, honestly. So I think it's gonna be a good rematch. I hope we see something a little better this time around than we did last time. So, and then obviously we have September 30th, we have Charlo Canelo, and you know, we'll go into more on that. Obviously, that's going to be an undisputed versus undisputed bout, and which would be a pretty big deal. And then down the road, also we got Fury and Ngannou, obviously on the 28th, and that's out in Saudi Arabia. So yeah, some cool fights coming up down the road, man. Can't be mad. This year of boxing has been sensational.
Sensational.
So we can't be mad at it. So let's move to breaking news. Maybe we'll even dibble dabble in a little bit of rumors. You know, I don't like doing that, but you know, it rumors pays the bills, baby. You know what I mean? Skills and rumors, the only two things that pay the bills out here. So Smith and Artur Beterbiev, I think I told you guys last week, has been rescheduled now, but they have a date. It'd be in January 2024. I think it was like in the 22nd or 21st, something like that. So they're rescheduling that for January 2024. Beterbiev, he had dental surgery. He had some kind of dental accident during training camp. They're not too specific on it, but you know, it was enough that he needed surgery, and it's gonna have to take time to recover and stuff. So that's pushed back. We just got Haney Prograis signed for October 28th. Also, what I'm assuming is gonna happen is Fury and Ngannou is gonna be in the morning. Haney Prograis will be at night. That's what I'm thinking is gonna happen, but don't quote me on that. Since Ngannou and Fury's overseas, you know, it'll be nighttime there, so they'll probably do that during the day. Haney and Prograis at night, I'm assuming, on ESPN. So yeah, and then another one that's been announced, Jack Catterall and Linares. They're signed for a bout on October 21st. So that's pretty good. I like, you know, for those of y'all like, man, Linares is, you know, washed. Y'all, he's been cranking it up this past year. He's been looking good. And obviously Jack Catterall, he had that really, you know, controversial loss against Josh Taylor of the 140 division. So yeah, man, I'm hyped. I think that's going to be a good fight. I like Jack Catterall. He's a nice, you know, slick left-hander, southpaw, if you will. So yeah, he looks good. I think, you know, I think that's going to be over in Manchester too, or somewhere. It's going to be in the UK for sure. But yeah, so that's coming up down the road. I'll have more on that. And then Benavidez and Demetrius Andrade are in final negotiations for a fight this fall in Las Vegas, from what I've heard. So I'm pretty hyped on that too. Obviously, Benavidez is coming off his win against my boy Caleb Plant. Andrade is new to the 168 division. He's looking for a big fight. I want to say, you know, I hate to be like that he's up and coming in the 168 division because he's 32-0, but or 31-0 or something like that. But you know, he was at 160 for a long time, and I really do feel like people were ducking him. So I think this is kind of his shot to be like, hey man, I was right, bro. You know, people were ducking me 160. That's why I'm moving up here. I'm here to challenge for the belts. He's been wanting Canelo for a minute, ever since that payday. You know, the whole payday.
You want payday? I know that.
Fiasco where they were fighting back there. So, yeah, man. So I think this is his shot. I think this is Andrade's chance to be like, hey man, I'm here. I'm here.
I'm here.
But yeah. So then was, I guess, doubling back a little bit to the Haney Prograis fight. So the WBC just decided that he's the champion in recess. Never heard of that before, but the WBC stated that Devin Haney is now the champion in recess at 135, while he moves to 140 to fight Regis Prograis. So these sanctioning bodies now are just doing kind of whatever they want, I think, at this point. So they're pretty much robbing Shakur Stevenson of being the WBC number one at 135. And I'm just confused on what they're trying to do here. I don't know. I think they're still wanting a Haney Stevenson matchup, but it's like, at this point in my head, I'm like, are y'all just coming up with this stuff now? So like, it's just he's the champion in recess now. So I don't know. Hit me up in the comments, man. If y'all have seen that before, if they've done that in the past, maybe I'm just tweaking. I don't know, but I've never heard of that. He moved up to a new weight division. I mean, at this point, I think he just needs to vacate his belts. And Stevenson goes and fights for a vacated belt. And if Haney's like, hey man, I want that strap back, come back and fight Stevenson for the belt. Or whoever beats Stevenson. Or, like whoever wins out of that vacant title bout. I don't know, man. Kind of interesting. That, it makes me wonder a little bit. I mean, I know these guys that, they all have, like, I'm sure they have a board and they have a process of everything they do, but sometimes it just seems like these guys just do whatever they want. To further on that, the WBO has now just awarded Tim Tszyu the WBO 154 title. Because Jermell Charlo, who's undisputed at 154, is moving up and fighting Canelo instead of his mandatory Tim Tszyu, which he has. I will say this. Tim Tszyu has deserved that title fight for a minute now. And Charlo had injuries, and Tim Tszyu's gone through and he's fought other people in the division and have won all of his bouts waiting on this fight, and it just hasn't happened. So, and then obviously Charlo's taken this big money fight with Canelo, and Tim Tszyu's like, bruh, I've been your mandatory for a minute. So now the WBO is going to award him that belt. But here's the catch. And this is where I always say, I feel like the sanctioning bodies are just doing whatever. They're going to allow Jermell to walk with the WBO belt into the Canelo fight, but as soon as the bell rings, he's stripped. So they're going to allow it to be a undisputed versus undisputed, more or less. But as soon as the bell rings, he's no longer the WBO champion. It's awarded to Tim Tszyu. So once he's done with Canelo, if he wins or loses or whatever, he's got to come back to Tim Tszyu and see Tim Tszyu about that belt, about that strap. So that might, I don't know, that might kind of ruin some plans for him and Crawford to have that 154 bout. And Jermell's been all over the media saying, like, what makes everybody think that Crawford deserves to just walk in and have a undisputed fight with him. He's like, maybe I should be the shot caller now. Maybe I should be like, hey, y'all need to go fight whoever. But yeah, so I don't know. Just think it's kind of weird, man. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about that. What do you think about these sanctioning bodies? Matter of fact, that's the question of the week. Y'all thought I wasn't going to hit y'all with the question of the week this week, and that's the question of the week. What do you guys think about these sanctioning bodies just kind of coming up with these weird rules? I mean, do you think there's got to be somebody that keeps them in check? Maybe like an oversight committee or something. I don't know, man. Like, I hate to make another freaking committee in the sport of boxing, but it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like it's just kind of the Wild West at this point when it comes to some of this stuff, man. It just seems like people are just being like, nah, man, Haney's gonna stay the champion, or nah, man, y'all gotta fight on the moon, otherwise this don't count. Like, I don't know, something's up. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. So yeah, that's all I got for y'all today, man. I mean, here we are. Another week of boxing in the books. Yeah, you know, I'm hyped. Everything's been, you know, sensational. I'm still kind of off that high of Spence Crawford a little bit. You know, I watched the epilogue of the whole thing just the other night, and man, that was cool to see. You know, and I think that now that I watched the epilogue, I really do want to see that rematch. Whether it's going to be at 154 or 47, I don't know, but you know, I'd like to see that rematch, I think. So, but yeah, man, talk to me in the comments. Let me know what's going on, man. Talk to me. You know, like, comment, subscribe. Throw me a little hate message. Throw me a little love message. Appreciate y'all, man. We are just about to hit 70 subscribers, man. I cannot believe that. That's awesome. I remember starting this channel out, and I think we had like, I don't know, like 10 subscribers or something. It was just random people, I think, from over the years. So yeah, man, we're up to almost 70 subscribers. So please, man, do me a favor. If you're not subscribed, hit a subscribe button for me, or two, or tell a friend and tell them to subscribe. It helps me out way more than you know. My next goal is 100. So let's get me to 100, man, if we can. I'm just gonna keep bringing y'all all the boxing news, all the boxing scoop, maybe a little bad joke here or there in between. But yeah, tell a friend, man. And other than that, we'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.